Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, I'm Leenda, and this is For the Record, Your Honor. The article from The Hollywood Reporter that I have found going back in research discusses the tragic passing of stuntwoman Joy Harris on the set of Deadpool 2 in 2017. WorkSafe BC, the British Columbia workplace safety organization, concluded that the incident was caused by inadequate workplace setup by filmmakers, citing a lack of proper safety precautions and training for Harris, who was performing her first movie stunt. It's funny that it's not really funny, but it's odd that they're saying it that way in this old article, because it has come to light that allegedly the stunt driver did not want to do a scene without her helmet, and Ryan Reynolds, who was in control of everything, wanted her to continue to do it without. I don't know. I don't even know the scene because I haven't seen Deadpool 2, but there's been some weird talk about that. Regarding the legal dispute involving Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni during the production of It Ends With Us, there is no real direct connection to the Deadpool incident. However, both situations highlight concerns about on-set safety and the responsibilities of filmmakers to ensure a secure working environment. In Lively's case, she has filed a lawsuit alleging sexual harassment and a hostile work environment created allegedly by Baldoni, who serves as both her co-star and director. The legal battle has escalated, with Baldoni countersuing for defamation and other claims. These events underscore the importance of addressing workplace safety and how it should be conducted in film industries to protect all individuals involved in production. It also tells me what other co-stars have come out to say as well. If Blake Lively is on set, most likely it may become a toxic one. That's all been speculation, rumors, and there have been witnesses. Recent reports have surfaced detailing negative experiences involving Blake Lively and her husband Ryan Reynolds on professional sets. These incidents highlight the complexities and challenges that can arise in professional collaborations within the entertainment industry. For example, power stature, especially ones that are involving reported toxic personalities and narcissistic behavior. All this tells me that if the rumors and witnesses' words are all true, then these two are truly a match, because Blake comes from money, fame, glory. She has admitted that is exactly how she got through the door into the business, and with anything she wants, she got with her assistants or doing from her parents and the connections in that damn Rolodex, or simply with just money and a promise and a wink. Blake connecting with Ryan, who has a known background and history for undermining others on sets, including especially the higher ups, and clearly has gotten away with it for so long that it's just expected of him in Hollywood. He continued this behavior, and that probably gave Blake more power in her head and her actions. So this does not and would not surprise me if the two of them have been doing this as a power couple per se all along, but it was all kept quiet due to intimidation and their sneaky moves behind the curtains to obtain all control.
It Ends With Us. Production. During the filming of It Ends With Us, Lively filed a complaint alleging sexual harassment by director and co-star Justin Baldoni. She described uncomfortable situations, including unsolicited sexual comments and improvised intimate scenes without prior discussion. Lively's amended legal complaint, filed on February 18, 2025, also references two other actresses who reportedly felt uneasy due to Baldoni's behavior. These allegations have led to a complex legal battle, with Baldoni countering with defamation claims against Lively and her husband, Ryan Reynolds. Gossip Girl. Set. Reports have emerged suggesting that Lively was considered horrendous to work with during her time on Gossip Girl. Accusations include unprofessional behavior and undermining colleagues. Ryan Reynolds. Boltneck. Film set. Actor Matthew Lawrence recounted difficulties working with Reynolds during the 1998 film Boltneck. Lawrence claimed that Reynolds, then a young actor, clashed with the production team over his approach to the role, leading to on-set conflicts. Producers criticized Reynolds for attempting what they perceived as a poor imitation of Jim Carrey, which was not what they wanted for the film. Matthew Lawrence claims Ryan Reynolds had issues with Oscar-nominated crew on film set, not what we hired you to do.
In a recent episode of the Brotherly Love podcast, actor Matthew Lawrence discussed working with Ryan Reynolds on the 1998 film Boltneck. Lawrence claimed that Reynolds, then an emerging actor, had creative disagreements with the film's producers and director. This all led to on-set tensions, and the production team, which included Oscar-nominated crew members and well-respected and well-known, reportedly blamed the film's shortcomings on these conflicts. Despite these early challenges, Ryan Reynolds has since achieved significant success in his acting career. But it seems like this has been going on, and this stems back. He's been getting away with it, and I'm sure a lot of people have witnessed this and just been kept quiet.
A temporary worksite had been set up to record a film scene for a movie production. The site had been cordoned off from general public and traffic by the Vancouver Police Department. The worker had been rehearsing a stunt scene that involved driving a motorcycle, Dictate 939 Hyperstrada, out of the open doors of a building, across a concrete pad and down a ramp that had been built over 3 stairs and coming to a stop on the stair landing. During the first shooting of the scene, the stunt driver continued driving beyond the planned stopping spot on the stairway landing and continued to drive down a second ramp built over the bottom stairs and across the roadway. The motorcycle struck the concrete sidewalk curb. The worker was thrown off the motorcycle and propelled through a plate glass window of a building. In the maneuver, which was never more than 15 kilometers per hour, a little less than 10 miles an hour, she rode on a flat surface through 2 open doors and then turned left and went out of camera range, a source close to the production said. Her exit was a safety ramp to a big platform where the bike was supposed to stop, but she overshot the platform, hit a curb, and was thrown from the bike through a glass window. Harris was an experienced motorcycle rider, but this was her first movie stunt. The source said rumors that she was not qualified for the job and was hired only because she was Black and was doubling for an actress of mixed race are untrue. To say an unqualified person was put in this position is absolutely untrue, the source said. She was the best candidate for the job. Production was halted immediately after the crash. The British Columbia coroner told Deadline that day. A coroner attended the scene and an investigation is underway with the Vancouver Police Department and WorkSafe BC, which also is investigating this incident. Harris reportedly was not wearing a helmet during the stunt work. Production started up again 48 hours later, and the cast and crew reportedly held for a moment of silence in remembrance of the 32-year-old Harris.
I make a point to mention this and link Ryan Reynolds to the safety issues on set, especially with Deadpool 2, because he was credited as a writer and producer.
A stunt that got cut where you're underwater in a chair, tied to a chair.
Yeah. That was one of the most difficult thing I've ever had to do at work.
Was it traumatic?
Every second of it.
Was it traumatic?
It was. I think about that and I go, like, I can't breathe. And it wasn't even in the film. It made me so mad.
What exactly happened? So they put you under there. You didn't have any kind of...
it was a giant tank, and it was used for the second film because my character is, spoiler alert, dead. And she's in this ethereal universe. And so they were going to try to take our movements underwater and make it look like we weren't underwater. I think there's a Green Day music video like this where, like, you know, like the hair starts to float and my boobs were like up to here, which is one of the reasons why it really didn't work, because I'm in a tank top and like my boobs are here, you know, everything floats. So we trained to be underwater doing dialogue, and they sunk the entire apartment in a tank underwater. And we had to be not restrained, but weighed down so that I could sit in a chair because you float. And it had to be deep enough where you could get lights and cameras and things in there. And the director spoke to us through like a speaker underwater, and I had a diver at my feet who was ready to give me oxygen when I needed it. But it wasn't it had a roof, like I was in an apartment. So it had like an escape hatch that you had to swim to find, but it was also really dark, you know, and it was panic inducing. And I really was just the whole time working on like, I can do this. Like, I'm just taking deep breaths. I'm only 10 feet underwater. Like, it's not a big deal, or, you know, it was awful. And every time I needed you go like this and they come and they give you, and I would panic that like, if I don't have enough air left to blow out the bubbles and then be able to take a deep breath. If I choke on this thing on 10, 15 feet underwater, that's a long way up to like be choking, you know?
Your eyes had to be open?
So that was the other thing I think that made it worse was we were talking to each other. We couldn't have bubbles coming out because it was supposed to not look like we were underwater. So we had to like, you have to release a little air, clear all the bubbles from your face, make sure you can open your mouth and talk without a bubble coming out, do the dialogue scene, and hang out there and wait, take a breath and do it all over again and have your eyes open. As I could barely see him. What they didn't anticipate was that there's particles and things in the pillows that were attached to the couch, the wood credenza, whatever the fuck, like it started to float into the water. And both Ryan and I got really severe eye infections.
Are you serious?
We couldn't open our eyes for like 2 days.
Did they have to like cancel production for 2 days?
Yes.
So it's pretty much like pink eye.
It kind of, but worse. Like it felt like I had razors in my eyeballs. Like I couldn't open my eyes.
Were you miserable, honestly? Like, were you like miserable to be around? You were so miserable?
No, I was like a good sport about it. And then I like cried when I got home.
You did? Why did you cry? Because of the fear?
Well, I had my baby was with me. I had like a 4 or 5 month, Frankie was 5 months old at the time or something. And our nanny, who had been on the clock for like 12 hours. And then I get home and I can't even open my like on the car ride home, I was like this. And I was just like, please just let it get easier, you know? And then I would try to open my eyes and it felt like razor blades. And I'm like at home with a baby and I can't even open my eyes. I'm like, how am I going to put her to bed?
Oh my
It was really traumatic.
That just sounds horrible.
And they felt terrible. I mean, they sent baskets and baskets of things and like doctors, and they're like, we're so sorry. And everything was fine. I recovered totally fine. There weren't any lasting damages, but it was harrowing.
How many takes?
It was, I think, like a 14-hour day.
God. Did you ever panic and go, I got to go up. I got to go up?
Yes.
How many times?
And towards the end, I was looking at the director, David Leitch, and I was like, I'm done. I was like, I can't. I can't do this anymore. And he's like, just one more time. Just one more time. We almost got it. I'm like, okay. And he said that for like 2 hours, you know.
And were you bummed? Did you ever see the footage?
I never saw the footage. I saw a photo, like a screenshot.
Would you love to see the footage? Or do you just want to put that? You
absolutely.
would.